With the increasing population of Nigerians living below the poverty line, owing to the rise in cost of food, shelter and transportation, with many still grappling with the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Delta State government has taken steps to reach out to more vulnerable persons in the state. During a town hall meeting with beneficiaries of the Delta COVID-19 Action Recovery and Economic Stimulus DCARES program, the state governor, Right Honorable Sheriff Oborowori, said the number of the beneficiaries of the DCARES program had been increased from 36,353 to 110,841. Governor Oborowori expressed satisfaction with the impact of the DCARES program and the success stories of the beneficiaries and promised to continue in his support of the program. He enjoined stakeholders to monitor the businesses of beneficiaries of the various empowerment programs of government to ensure growth.
On assumption of office as governor, in line with the MORE agenda, commence the implementation of a blueprint that will provide more access to opportunity like Deltans, irrespective of their socio-economic status. Consequently, I approve the release of funds to support the activities of the DCARES program across the various delivery platforms. Therefore, very pleased to see this large number of happy Deltans whose lives and businesses have been positively impacted. I want something that is impactful, where the people will be happy, where the ones that we have trained a lot, let's continue to monitor them. We need to see how they grow in their business and support them.
The State Commissioner for Economic Planning and Chairman of the State CARES Steering Committee, Mr. Sonny Ekedaye, commended the governor for his support for the program, adding that beneficiaries were drawn from different parts of the state.
This program is being implemented across the 36 states of the Federation, including the FCT. The DCARES program by design focuses on three key resource areas: on increasing social transfers, basic services and livelihood support to poor and vulnerable households, increasing food security and safe functioning of food supply chains to poor households. And lastly, is aimed at facilitating recovery and enhancing capacities of micro and small entrepreneurs. So for practicality and impact, the above key resource areas were further categorized under the following actionable platforms: social transfers through payments of stipends to the aged, chronically ill, urban poor, and persons with special needs. Payment of stipends to poor, vulnerable youths engaged in labor-intensive public works across communities in the state. Provision of grants and support for vulnerable youths and women engaged in household enterprises and businesses. We also provide funds to communities for the construction and rehabilitation of basic infrastructures such as boreholes, toilet, ICT centers, classroom blocks, healthcare centers, and town halls, amongst others. Provision of agricultural inputs and access to farmers across the states to promote food security and supply chain, that's under the FADAMA. And lastly, the disbursement of operational funds and grants to micro and small enterprises owners across the state. The programs had since grown beyond its original concept of addressing economic fallout of the COVID-19 pandemic, and has now metamorphosed into a platform of addressing other economic shocks and displacements with severe socio-economic ramifications as well.
The Secretary, State CARES Steering Committee and State Coordinator Delta CARES Program, Lady Patience Umewe, said the program is aimed at expanding access to livelihood support and food security services, provide grants for the poor and vulnerable households, and promote recovery of micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs, that have been negatively impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic.
We celebrate Your Excellency as you mark 1 year in office, sir. Your Excellency, the need to interact with people whose lives the government has touched and is still touching cannot be overemphasized. In our midst, among these beneficiaries here seated, are persons whose hopes have been revived, lives renewed, whose businesses have been strengthened and revamped as a result of your wonderful and kind support to the DCARES intervention in the state.
The governor and his team, led by the Commissioner for Economic Planning, later visited the exhibition stand where he expressed satisfaction at the quality of goods and services rendered by the beneficiaries. Some of the beneficiaries, including those living with disability, could not hide their appreciation as they advocated the sustenance of the program.
I make shoes and slippers. So with that light, I cannot find my shoe. So that morning, I just use the money, go buy generator, chap. Today, I don't use that work.
Before I entered poultry, I was in the dark age. I will only buy 1 or 2 or 5, and I will measure food and be giving them. But since this daycare program came in, it was a wonderful thing. I was blessed with 1 carton of chicken, 7 bags of feed, and at the end of it, I make a lot of profit.
I thank Excellency Sheriff Governor Obrowori, and the program don't carry me come up for begging. Nobody will not know me for here when I sit down for Tivo supermarket. But since from then, when the program start, I know they go beg again.
The DCARES program is being implemented with existing units and agencies in the state, including the State Cash Transfer Unit, Labor-Intensive Public Workfare Unit, Livelihood Support Unit, Community-Driven Development Social Implementation Unit, State Fadama Coordination Office, and the Delta State Micro, Small and Medium Scale Enterprises Development Agency. Eunice Meyazia reporting.